everybody, welcome back to our channel. We're Eamon and Bec and we live full-time in our self-converted Sprinter van. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We make lots of videos about behind the scenes of van life, cooking in our tiny kitchen.
So before even watching this video, go ahead and smash that subscribe button.
You got it.
That way we'll get along just fine.
We feel like this is the season of van life. There are so many van conversions happening. We're in the middle of converting a van for Eamon's dad. We're actually daily vlogging the entire conversion, so you guys can check that out as well.
This movement is real. Like literally, every day, new van on Instagram. It's crazy. It's super exciting.
It's so exciting, and we feel like as a couple who have lived in their own van for a year now, we have some tips that we can give to you if you're thinking about joining the movement. These are some things we wish we knew before living in a van.
Y'all ready for it?
Y'all ready for this?
Da-na-na.
Okay.
First thing you should know before living in your van is maintenance costs a lot more than we thought. So going into it, it was kind of like, oh my god, this is going to be so cheap. You know, it's just going to be like having a vehicle that you live in. And it's not really the same thing. First of all, Sprinter vans in general are a little bit more expensive to maintain, but I think in any sense, because we're living in this thing, we're driving it around the country, we're beating the crap out of it, you know, off-roading on the dirt roads. So there's lots of little maintenance upgrades that you'll have to be aware of.
Think of it as taking the budget you would have for maintaining your home, the budget you would have for maintaining your car, and any other miscellaneous things that you maintain in a month, and it's all into this one vehicle. So while it is definitely and can be a cheaper method of living, van maintenance has been more often, more frequent, and more expensive than we thought. The second thing we wish we knew before moving into our van was just taking a step back and understanding the climates that we planned on visiting or that we already live in. When we were building our van, we were just so excited to make it cute and homey and to do it quickly because we were so ready to have our own space that I think we kind of forgot that we live in Canada. So when winter was sprung upon us, it was like, oh my goodness, we don't have a heater and it's snowing outside, and it was a very quick turnaround of having to install the heater. We definitely hadn't planned for it. The floor, when we were insulating, we were more concerned about having height in the van as opposed to properly insulating the floor. And in a lot of ways, we weren't ready for the winter that we knew we were gonna have. We just weren't gently reminded about it.
Yeah, so I think what she's trying to say is take seasons a little bit more seriously. It's pretty easy to think, oh, I'm going to live in my van, and if it gets cold, I'm just going to go over here. Or if it gets hot, I'm going to just drive away from that and kind of chase the seasons. But realistically, like you're going to be susceptible to seasons, and you want to make sure you're comfortable.
Oh, should I say every time the thing we wish we knew?
No.
Okay. Number 3. This van life community is off the charts. When we first started like digging around, it was genuinely the reason why I was comfortable with joining the van life movement. You know, hashtag van life on Instagram, and everyone that was doing it was super rad, really responsive to questions we had, and we really try to do the same in return. Which is actually why we started creating these videos on YouTube, was just to give back to the community in some way that taught us so much and inspired us so much.
It's true, like even like on Instagram, like I feel like when you're, you know, let's say you're into one specific genre and you've got like those huge Instagrammers that you're like kind of intimidated by, and you send them a message and like they don't reply to you, it's like, oh, that's pretty classic. But I feel like regardless of how big these van lifers seem on Instagram or whatever, like when we were starting out, we had like, you know, 1,000 followers or even less, right? And I'd like send Scott, Comes With A View, who had like 30,000 followers, you know, a DM, a specific question about electrical. And he'd be like, yeah, dude, you just do it this way, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? These people are amazing. So take advantage, you know?
Yeah, so tap into the community. Find us on Instagram. Us personally, we'd love to get to know you guys. And that really does translate to meeting people in person. As soon as someone is in a van, and I know that there's something to be said about having similar interests, but I just feel like it is so easy to get along. We've gone away for weekends with people that live in their van. We've just been driving along and spotted someone with a solar panel on their roof, knocked on their door, and end up being lifelong friends. So the community is amazing. Don't hesitate to reach out to people, ask your questions. If you have specific questions for us, of course you can leave them in the comments below too. But yeah, the community is really incredible.
So to summarize, y'all want friends? Buy a van.
You're so weird, dude.
So if you're watching this and you're like, dude, I'm sold. I so want to get a van. This is my dream. When you're going through your build, I know a budget is a budget and everyone only has so much money, but saving $100, $50, $200, $300 to do little shortcuts, whether that's with big appliances, so like a fridge, you know, the smaller one will save you a little bit of money, or the inverter. I think if you're committed and you really believe that you're going to do this as a long-term thing, you'll regret those decisions. So I knew that with our electrical system, I knew I wanted to get a really good pure sine wave 2000 watt inverter because I didn't want to buy a cheap one at Canadian Tire and then upgrade. And then all your wiring would have to upgrade because you're getting a bigger inverter and all that kind of stuff that will give you more headaches and actually cost you more money down the road. An example for our fridge as well is, we use a 55-liter fridge. We're super stoked that we're going to be upgrading that. But maybe if we had known that in the future, we wouldn't have tried to save a little bit of money there.
Well, I think that's a really interesting point because one of my other points is that you don't have to strive for perfection right out of the gate. So there's always room to upgrade your van, and we're constantly working on ours to make it better and better suit our lifestyle, or maybe we've changed in some way and the flow doesn't work. Like, that's totally cool, and you can always perfect and change the little things. But I do think that what you were saying was, like, whether it's the actual van itself or those big appliances, it'll hurt you in the long run if you cheap out. So yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, but prioritize and know that some of those bigger things that seem a little expensive or you don't want to spend the extra $100 up front is definitely worth it. Okay, something else I really wish I knew, and this is such a great tip for stealth camping. There's an app called iOverlander. We were just introduced to it on our way into Mexico, and I think we used it every single day in Mexico. You basically put in your location and you can see
you just go to the map and it shows you your location.
Yeah, true. So you go to the map. It's a user-generated platform. So people will write, hey, I stayed off the beach, pulled down the gravel road, talked to someone, they said it's cool to camp there for a couple of nights.
Friendly neighbors, running water down the street. So everyone kind of adds to it, and it's international. They've got locations in Europe and I think in Australia, so super cool. Download that, add to it if you are going to use it. And that bailed us out of a lot of spots in Mexico.
Oh, it was so awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's something that really intimidates a lot of people with van life, so I just wish I knew about it earlier, because our first couple of months are stressed out of our minds trying to find places to sleep at night, and it doesn't have to be that hard.
I would say stressed out of our minds, but it was like a thing that we were dealing with.
We were medium stressed out of our noggins.
Maybe you were stressed out of your mind?
I wasn't stressed out of my mind, I was just trying to exaggerate.
Why are you that exaggerating?
I don't know.
It's because we're both wearing hats today.
It's probably because we're both wearing hats today.
So the next one we want you to be aware of before buying your van. This is something that I think a lot of videos or a lot of people talk about with any kind of lifestyle, really, is like, take it at face value. Instagram is an amazing tool, and like, we're even guilty of it as well. It's like, of course we're going to post our coolest pics, our most epic locations. That's not real van life. That's kind of Instagram, and you're trying to create cool content. So just be aware of that. Don't think that every single day we're sleeping at an amazing beach, even though right now we are actually at an amazing beach. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that van life does have its highs and lows, and just be super aware of that before jumping into a van and thinking, oh my God, look at all these photos. I'm going to take all these photos. It's going to be amazing. Yeah,
something that we try to share a lot on this platform is the authentic, real...
Authenticity.
Yeah, the authentic side of van life. The behind the scenes of it. We have videos just about a normal day in the life and things like that. So if you guys are interested, you can check those out. Check them out. Right here. Right here. Right here. Okay.
Please kiss yourself.
Yeah, sometimes I love the feeling of my own kiss. It's really soft and sweet. And you're lucky that you get them all the time. I really do want this to actually be a really positive video, because for someone like me who is a little bit hesitant about van life or doing it full time, I just want to say how awesome it is. So this point is really that the world is now your oyster for real. This is your backyard. You can literally take your home anywhere, open up your back doors and, spend some time outside, go enjoy places. Yeah, like you can go to somewhere an hour away from your house that you never even knew existed and just totally
go
unwind.
live in a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, you're from Parkdale, go live in the east side. It's all good.
Totally. And it's like the coolest, most rad thing to go out and explore and then come home and make a tea or dinner in your home, the comfort of your home. It's just so awesome. This kind of touches on a lot of the things we've already talked about, but inclement weather and having sort of a plan.
How do you spell inclement?
Inclement, try it.
M-E-N-T, inclement.
Close, but very close. Not right, but close. You would never make it on that Genius show. But having a plan or something to
What does
do.
inclement mean?
Inclement weather? Didn't you ever go to school?
No, I didn't go to school.
When it's recess and it's inclement weather?
Didn't you ever go to school?
We always called it inclement weather.
What
Now
does that
now
mean?
I'm saying it sounds weird. Inclement weather?
I know, Catholic school, I don't know.
Amen, that's
Maybe
not
in
true.
Catholic
Inclement
school.
weather means it's like raining or way too cold or way too
Like
hot.
hardcore weather?
Like the extremes. It's
Oh.
inclement.
Okay.
I could be wrong. This
I
sounds
like
ridiculous.
that word.
Have an inclement weather plan. So for us, we just take those days to really hone in, go to a cafe and work. When we were in Vancouver though, I have to be honest,
It was inclement.
it was inclement.
Yeah, it was inclement rain.
And it rained for 30 days straight.
It's brutal.
It was really miserable. So,
I couldn't live in Vancouver.
although we're going back out there for a couple months.
I know, but it's the summer now.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, I think it's just important to note that there will be days or months or periods of time that
Take
are a
note
little
of
more
inclement weather.
inclement, and just know that you got to do something else to avoid cabin fever. Okay? Okay.
Perfect.
You want to do the taking breaks?
Yes, this is probably the best point. We should have told them at the beginning of the video, wait till the end, we've got the best point.
Well,
This is the special point we've been talking about, and it doesn't... It doesn't mean you're quitting, but I think it's so important with van life. Van life is a lifestyle, and a lot of people will post a video or we'll talk to a lot of people and they say, I quit, I can't do it anymore. I think it's super important to acknowledge and realize that taking breaks doesn't mean you're quitting. So we are fortunate enough that we have an office in Toronto. So when we're there, especially when it's not nice weather out, we'll cook in our office, and obviously we'll still sleep in our van, but we'll do all of our kind of routine stuff in our office and then crash in our van. So if you are feeling like you are burnt out, no shame. Go to your mom's place for a weekend. Go to your brother's home for, a week. And honestly, within even a few days, we're like itching. We're like ready to go on the adventure again. And I think it's such a good reboost.
taking breaks is the special sauce for keeping van life and the passion for it alive.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's so
Congratulations. You have now have our blessing to go buy a van, live in a van, and join the crew. Hit me up on your cell phone.
No, seriously guys, we really hope you enjoyed this video all about the things that we wish we knew before moving into the van. If you're moving into a van, thinking about moving into a van, have questions about moving into a van, let us know below. I'm so excited when I get messages like, hey, we're going to look at sprinters, or, it's so cool. The community is growing and we're excited to be a part of it.
And to meet you one day.
And to meet you one day on the road.
Until tomorrow.
Please make sure you like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell so you get notifications every single time we post. Remember, we are daily vlogging. Sometimes we're this crazy, sometimes we're not. I don't know what to tell you.
Which videos do you like better? Do you like being crazy or do you like being normal?
Over and out, I love being crazy.
Over and out. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope my mic wasn't on a weird setting.
Oh,